광jumidioraattplatform presents As the Dust Settles. It is an institutional exchange exhibition between Gwangju and Leipzig, Germany. Since 2011, the two cities have maintained a cultural partnership. Built on years of artistic and institutional dialogue, this is the first Gwangju-Leipzig exchange exhibition at G.MAP. The exhibition revisits spaces shaped by historical transformation through memory. It reflects on the traces left by May 18th and Germany's peaceful revolution. The title evokes the time after social and political upheaval. When the noise fades and the dust settles, traces remain. The exhibition asks how memory is inscribed into everyday life. The subtitle, A Departure of Memory, comes from Aufbruch. It suggests a turning point, a new sensibility, and a shift in perception. Lee Se-hyun's works are grounded in photography. Through the artist's intervention, they record historical spaces. These acts of documentation do not remain only with the spaces themselves. They evoke the events that once unfolded there. They also recall the everyday lives of those who may have inhabited them. Perhaps the history we know today was shaped by countless individuals. An ordinary yet meaningful day may later become an event. At times, it may become a tragedy remembered and spoken of by others. Lee's work begins between individual lives, events, accidents, and history. Through interventions into spaces that still hold traces of the past, the work reveals what continues to linger within them. It invites us to remember these histories a little longer. In this exhibition, Chung Dayoung presents You Beside Us. It traces invisible memories of Leipzig's Monday peaceful revolution. These memories are rooted in the late 1980s, when the city was part of East Germany. Through the testimony of a Korean woman who experienced this transition, it reflects on wir, or we, and the inclusions and exclusions within it. Personal memory is interwoven with photographs from Leipzig's Citizens Movement archive. The work asks how memory is preserved, transmitted, and historicized. To Your Memory approaches protest through emotional and sensory impressions. New Type Fahnen transforms demonstration imagery into flag-like installations. Together, the works propose community as plural, layered, and open-ended. Christoph Blankenberg takes a performative approach in his film works. He combines exploration, spontaneity, and site-specific engagement. Through these acts, he examines history, local structures, and identity. He approaches these places with exaggeration, absurdity, and fantasy. As a performer, he enters landscapes shaped by GDR-era industry. In Ulung Bak, he climbs a giant gray cone formed by human intervention in nature. The repeated climbing, failure, and beginning again suggest a Sisyphus-like action. The yellow ribbon becomes both a symbolic gesture and a graphic element. In Chanel NR2, orientation collapses and gravity seems suspended. Through his interventions, these sites gain a new contemporary resonance. Paula Aballos works across video art, installation, and experimental cinema. Her practice also includes animation, performance, photography, and text-based projects. Influenced by autobiographical experience, she addresses everyday problems of labor. She asks how these problems affect the body and mind. Another central theme in her practice is the idea of non-places. She examines how such spaces shape the behavior of those who inhabit them. Her video, Visitantes, began with materials gathered while cleaning Airbnb apartments. For over a year, Aballos documented how guests left the rooms after checking out. The work is set in an Airbnb apartment in Leipzig's historic center. There, she imagines present-day visitors through the traces they leave behind. Approaching cleaning as an almost forensic act, she reconstructs what may have happened. She draws figures onto photographs and recreates these imagined moments with friends. Stefan Hertig's videos and installations explore identity in the digital age. They also examine the neoliberal logic of the self and possible post-human futures. With a skeptical perspective, he examines how economic concepts shape our self-perception. He also questions how they shape our body image. His recent video and performance works focus on post-anthropocentric perspectives. They explore fluid identities and the coexistence of humans and non-human beings. In Idol, Hertig turns toward a possible future. Set in a post-apocalyptic landscape, a humanoid being dances idly. It appears almost suspended in inactivity, while robots tirelessly perform their tasks. In doing so, the housekeeping robots unintentionally create works of art. A voice reads a text based on Kazimir Malevich's 1921 essay on laziness. The film transforms Ulrich Muther's 1981 pavilion in Binz into a futuristic home,